Scammers are everywhere online. Back in the day, you would often hear about phone scams, and since the start of 2022, many outlets have reported a large increase in these types of robocalls designed to trick the average person into handing over personal information. On YouTube, I recently covered the story of how Linus Tech Tips had his channel hacked by someone running a cryptocurrency scam and used his massive platform to promote this devious enterprise. Well, recently, a publication called ProPublica put out an article covering a famous scammer on Instagram who is known to threaten, blackmail, and use Insta's report tools to get accounts taken down. He claims to have made $300,000 just from this enterprise, often using his skills to take down accounts for hire. The Instagram hitman, if you will. The article starts with a short interview from Christian Murphy, or Murda, who works in the music industry and most notably did some work with 6ix9ine. Well, 6ix9ine said something pretty wild, basically mocking the death of a fellow rapper recently, and because of this, shortly after, Christian got a bunch of messages basically condemning him for working with him. While none of these are really out of the ordinary, one of them was. It was a message from someone claiming to be called OBN Brandon, saying he was going to take his account down. Well, after a little more investigation, it turns out that this guy is a part of an entire community of people who will take down the accounts of someone for a little dosh. This Vice article covers a service that promises to ban people for just $60. Me and my friends currently have the best ban service on site/in the world. One advertisement from a ban service on the underground forum OG Users reads, "We have been professionally banning since 2020 and have top tier experience. We may not have the cheapest prices, but trust me, you are getting what you're paying for." War, the pseudonymous user offering the ban service, told Motherboard in a Telegram message that banning is pretty much a full-time job. Lol. They claim to have made over 6 figures from selling Instagram bans in under 1 month. War charges $60 per ban according to their listing. I mean, at this point, people have made it their full-time job to ban other people's Instagram accounts. And you can blame these people all you want. You can criticize them for exploiting weakness to hurt people's livelihoods. But at the same time, Instagram should not be this easy to utilize to get people's accounts taken down. This seems to be a consistent problem with people I know personally who use Instagram, where reporting an account and getting it taken down is super easy. And on top of that, once your account does go down, Instagram's user support is basically useless and will rarely be able to get anything done for you. Another banner on a different underground forum offers the service for between $5 and $30 per account, depending on the amount of followers. That listing advertised bans for accounts up to 5,000 followers, but claims that higher follower counts are also possible to ban. The first listing said it can impact accounts with up to 99,000 followers, and the price here actually increases as you get to a larger account. These days, Instagram and social media in general is so important to running a business. Sure, the obvious choices like YouTubers, influencers, streamers, whoever else uses sites like Instagram to post images associated with their business. But it's not just completely online people. Every single business, whether they're a big name like a chain, think of like, Applebee's or Walmart, right? They use Instagram, but also simple local businesses also have to have a Facebook, they have to have a Twitter, and they have to have an Instagram, and they use all of these platforms. Social media is an essential component of promoting your product or your brand or your store in the modern age. And these guys are basically able to perform internet espionage and either get you to pay up so your account does not get taken down, or just get rid of your shit altogether. And what's more is that this is all done anonymously, and Instagram has unfortunately not been able to do anything to stop these guys. There are basically no consequences for it, so why wouldn't they just keep going? I mean, if you do this to an Instagram account, or let's say a music producer like Murda, then that should be a crime, right? That should basically constitute tortious interference of your business. But as for pursuing these guys and getting them to stop or face some kind of consequences, it's basically impossible. And even if you get one, another one will just pop up. So while I can be critical of Instagram all I want, at the same time, it's a tough situation for them to be in. Models, business people, marketers, and adult performers across the United States told ProPublica that OBN had ruined their businesses and lives with spurious complaints, even causing one woman to consider suicide. More than half a dozen people with over 45 million total followers on Instagram told ProPublica that they lost their accounts temporarily or permanently shortly after OBN threatened to report them. They say Meta failed to help them and to take OBN and other account manipulators seriously. One person who said she was victimized by OBN has an ongoing civil suit against Meta for lost income, while others sent the company legal letters demanding payment. Once you're put on Brandon's radar, whether someone's paying him or not, he has this personal investment in making sure that your life is miserable and that he'll try and get as much money money out of you as he possibly can, said Kay Jenkins, a Miami real estate agent and model. Her main Instagram account with roughly 100,000 followers has been repeatedly deactivated since 2021. And in one of these situations where you cannot hold the people involved responsible, what else are these people who own businesses expected to do apart from go after Instagram themselves? They make it so easy to get an account taken down by bad actors. A system designed to help people and prevent self-harm or dangerous posts is ultimately just an exploit for what I would describe as internet terrorists trying to get your business taken down. I mean, this is the kind of thing that my side of the internet really shuns. Fucking with someone's income. It's just a big no-no. And all of these innocent people running businesses are victims of not only the people using these broken report features, but also the company who allows them to do it in the first place. Now, thankfully, a spokesperson from the company did talk to these journalists, and they made it clear that they're working on this and will be taking action to improve these features, but at the same time, they're constantly playing catch-up. It's a whack-a-mole game where they get rid of this person's account, and then they come back within a day on a new account and do the exact same thing. And their efforts apparently have been in vain, as Murda's account was taken down by this dude, and has been down since December. It's been months. Now, this guy in question who's doing this, OBN, Brandon OBN, is pretty prolific, and he brags a lot as well. He shows off his guns, his white Lambo, and he kind of wants to be seen as some sort of like, you know, account gangster, right? The Instagram gangster. Unfortunately, the first rule of being a real gangstar is that you probably don't want to flex constantly on the internet, because eventually people will figure out who you are, or at the very least they'll be trying to, and you'll get some heat on you, you know? You're basically putting a target on your forehead. Now, something that's very interesting that we actually see from this is an intersection between this Instagram guy, OBN Brandon, you know, whoever he is, and the YouTube world. You guys are likely familiar with the Fresh and Fit podcast. They're basically this red pill type show where they talk about women and, you know, how to be a high value man. If you're a woman, you know, how to be a high value woman who, I don't know, stays in the fucking kitchen or something. I don't really care for the content. It's not really my kind of thing, but I'm not going to go after them for it. You know, whatever gets them their bag and allows them to live in Miami. Whatever, man. I respect it. You know, I think they're kind of funny guys. I've seen a few of their podcasts, but what I don't respect is that these guys pretend to be free speech warriors. Meanwhile, they'll use the copyright takedown system on YouTube to silence their critics, people who are mean to them and make fun of them. They're actually just oversensitive pussies.
Fresh and Fit decided to hit us with dozens of copyright claims. They apologized to us for some of the comments that they made in regards to Preach Significant Other. And then afterwards, recently, they decided to copyright claim the video that we did in response to their apology. So, so imagine being like, yo, you know, we fuck up, we take accountability, we're sorry, okay? You know, we're like, oh, this is how we feel about your apology, copyright claim.
And Fresh and Fit actually went on Tim Pool's podcast to talk about this, and when they were called out for this behavior, they basically got their shit rocked. They got really uncomfortable. They claimed it was not about that. It's just, you know, using legal avenues because people went after our business. And it's like, no, they actually just criticized you because you said something stupid on your podcast publicly. And realize that, like, both of these people claim to be pro freedom of speech. They claim, I remember when Sneako got banned, they were like, you know what, guys, when we see people get banned, we don't advocate to deplatform them, okay? We advocate for what is right because we do not hold hate in our hearts. But obviously, they do advocate for that because they're not really pro freedom of speech. They are copyright abusers. When someone says something mean about them, they illegally take down their fucking video.
Well, you can't file a DMCA over it.
Apparently not. You can't.
Yeah. So what, they just get it reversed or what?
Yeah, it's a long story, but
it's not a long story. It's not a long story. YouTube was like, yo, what the fuck is this? Yo, take this shit down. And your little bitch ran to YouTube like, we're retracting it. Please don't delete our channel. Please don't delete our channel. And you retracted all your strikes.
These guys are actual scumbags. And if taking down people's internet presence unfairly seems familiar to you guys, then things may start to add up here. Because as it turns out, Fresh and Fit have actually promoted OBN Brandon on their own podcast. On October 21st, 2021, Gaines, and this is Myron, by the way. This is, I believe, Fresh. Or maybe it's Fit. I don't really fucking know which one it is, but it's one of them, okay? Gaines paused the podcast to offer a plug. Shoutouts to our boy Brandon. For y'all who don't know or follow me on Instagram, I got my shit banned and then I'm back up now. My boy at OBN.here was the one that got it back, Gaines said, as an image of OBN's Instagram account flashed on the screen. So if you've got issues with Instagram, you get banned, whatever it is, this is the guy that you want to fucking contact. Gaines didn't respond to requests for comment. After ProPublica contacted Gaines, the video of the Fresh and Fit episode that featured his OBN shoutout was set to private, removing it from public view. And if you try to look at this podcast, they did indeed remove it from YouTube. These guys not only take down people's accounts, but also promote the account of someone who is a degenerate troll spending his time ruining people's businesses. I honestly hope someday people realize Fresh and Fit are just complete scumbags who stand for nothing. Like, if you want to just support your friends and take down people's accounts, then just own it, okay? That's what the majority of the internet does. They support flagging and they don't care. But don't pretend to fucking be above it all and be pro freedom of speech and then go and take people's videos down and give business to a guy who burns people's businesses for money. Seriously. Well, to give props to Meta, the company that owns Instagram, they actually tried to take some serious action in this case, and believe it or not, they tried to find the guy destroying all these people's income come and really go after him. ProPublica's investigation led to one person who either is OBN or is closely linked to him, 20-year-old Edwin Reyes Martinez, who lives with his mother in an apartment complex roughly 13 miles north of the Las Vegas Strip. Imagine if the guy that's doing this, like trying to be a gangster and like supposedly driving a Lamborghini, lives with his fucking mom. I mean, obviously the article makes it clear they don't know if this is the guy, but if this is him, I mean, just imagine the embarrassment he would suffer if he's like driving a Lambo but doesn't even want to like pay rent in an apartment. Embarrassing. Numerous clues connected Reyes Martinez to OBN. Victims said OBN told them to send money to a bank account in the name of Edwin Reyes or via an email address ermtz030@icloud.com that included Reyes Martinez's initials. That address also matched a partially redacted email 030@icloud.com. It's listed in the Las Vegas police letter OBN posted on Telegram. You'd think that this guy would be more careful, I mean, given all this going on, and wouldn't, you know, want to have it linked to like some real bank account. You'd think maybe he'd like demand payment in crypto or something, or some private PayPal. I don't know, but this really is not a good way to go about this if you're being like some kind of cyber criminal. A similar string of letters and numbers appears in a Twitter username at ERMTZ030. That account bears Reyes Martinez's name and photo and features videos shown inside a white Lamborghini. Although the videos don't show the driver's face, he's wearing a gold ring that resembles one worn by Reyes Martinez and photos from his Facebook account. Okay, I mean, obviously we don't know that this is the guy, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this is probably the same exact guy, right? Like there's almost no way. Another Facebook photo showed him posing in front of a white Lamborghini, similar to the one featured in OBN's Telegram profile. I mean, maybe this guy's like the front for it and the real guy is just like using him to collect money or something, but it seems pretty unlikely. I think this is probably the guy they're looking for. Visited at his home in early February, Reyes Martinez was dressed in a baggy orange long sleeve shirt, brown pants, and brown slippers. A pair of gold and diamond studs sparkled in his ears. At first, he denied knowing who OBN is or having anything to do with him. After being told that his own bank account had accepted more than $10,000 in payments intended for OBN in just the past few months, he changed his story. Oh, now he changes his story, right? This is the thing you see these guys do. It's like, you know, they deny everything until a little bit comes out, and then they only admit to like exactly what they have to once they get that information. And I guess it's probably the smartest thing to do if you're in like one of these situations where you're a complete scumbag lying, but you know, just saying. He said that someone named Brandon asked him to funnel money through his bank account to unknown recipients. There's an individual that asked me if I can receive a payment, he said. I have no idea what that payment is for. I received them as a favor for the person. He pulled out his phone and showed an Instagram account called @MadeTooMuchMoney that he said belongs to the Brandon who contacted him. He said he doesn't know where the money went or what Brandon's last name is. I know a lot of Brandons. He said he works full-time in a warehouse. You see my hands? These are hard work hands, he said, holding them out. If I was OBN, I wouldn't be working. Honestly, I just still don't believe that. Like, if you were OBN, maybe you'd still be working because that's a decent front, you know? Once again, this is kind of an explanation people also give. It's like, whataboutism. Like, well, if I was this guy, how would I do this? And it's like, well, maybe if you had a really good explanation, that would work here, but in this case, it's really not one. You know, you don't have a great excuse. You don't have a great alibi for this. ProPublica also submitted a request to the Las Vegas police for records relating to any application by Reyes Martinez to the department's cadet program. The department declined, citing a Nevada law that allows it to withhold personnel records. After the meeting in his apartment, Reyes Martinez did not respond to follow-up questions. Meta sent him a cease and desist letter on March 17th, about 2 weeks after ProPublica contacted the company for comment on OBN's activities and on the evidence connecting Reyes Martinez to OBN. A spokesperson said Meta had banned him from its platforms, but declined to share the letter. And massive credit to ProPublica here, because they actually went the extra mile and decided to try and confront this guy, you know, who's doing this. Unfortunately, you know, they don't know if this is the guy, obviously. I think it's probably him, but you know, you just can't know, so you can't make that claim directly, right? They don't know if this Reyes Martinez is actually the guy behind the OBN Brandon account, but at the very least, he does know the person in question and has had some contact with him. And when at first he was like, you know, confronted about it, he denied it and then admitted it once they brought up bank records. So at the very least, he does know the person in question. We know that. Whatever the case, I hope this article spooked him and we'll get him to stop doing this because it's really fucking annoying, right? I feel bad for the people affected, but given his behavior thus far, I kind of doubt this will be the case. He seems to really be getting off on getting away with it, you know, being an internet gangster. And to his credit, he's evaded any real repercussions for this for a long time. But all good, and indeed all bad things come to an end sooner or later, and if he keeps this behavior up, then it will bite him in the ass in a big way. It may be a lawsuit from someone that he messed with if they get his identity, but it will not be good regardless, and he will be stuck in court for a time dealing with legal fees, even if he's found innocent in a court of law somehow, right? Which I doubt will happen. Now, what's even crazier is how deep this rabbit hole goes, because this is not just some random person who's on the outside. This article alleges that he may have connections inside of Meta, which would take the situation to another level. The guy himself, OBN, claims to have contacts inside of the company who can help him get information and get people banned. And on top of that, apparently he had knowledge of something that there's no way he would have been able to know without someone on the inside of the company directly telling him. He apparently knew they were going to send someone a cease and desist letter before it was made public, before the guy in question even got it, which should be impossible. I mean, this speaks to some level of like crazy corruption inside of Meta. And this article details person after person who's been affected by OBN Brandon, and the guy is just prolific at getting people's accounts taken down. But after this guy was looked into by some journalists, he claimed that he would be done getting accounts banned and was just going to be offering more safe services like getting verified. He said that anyone mentioning banning would get blocked by him. Now, we do not know if this is true, and my suspicion is that if the heat dies down from all this from the article, then he'll probably start up again eventually because he'll realize that, you know, he wants to make more money doing it. If he's actually made as much money as he claims, why wouldn't he if no one's going to punish him? But at least for now, the guy seems to be backing off. Technically, we still don't know who's responsible, and while the article seems to suspect that the dude they confronted in Vegas could likely be him, we just don't know. Once again, I'd like to give massive credit to ProPublica for this article. I actually made a donation to them just for it because it was so well done. I don't know their whole track record, so maybe at some point they, you know, put out an article or something I'd disagree with, but this one was super well done. I think it was a great story about something super important, and obviously they deserve the credit for the research here. So go check them out if you like the article, check out their other stuff. And if you like my video about it, then you should leave a like, leave a dislike if you did not like it, and drop a comment down below giving me your thoughts on all of this on Instagram hackers, scammers. I want to hear your personal experiences. It's always good to hear what you know you guys have to say. And I'll see you all in the next video real soon. Bye.